grade ones, and thank you for joining me today. My name is Robin, and today in numeracy we are going to learn all about mass. So let's see what it's all about. What is mass? Mass is how heavy or how light something is. So the two important words are how heavy or light something is. Some objects can be easily lifted or picked up and others can't. They have different masses. For example, some things are heavy. An elephant is heavy. This means that an elephant has a large mass. Some things are light. A feather is light. This means that a feather has a small mass. So if you think about it, grade ones, if you try to pick up a feather in your hand and blow it, you will be able to do this easily because it has a small mass. But if you try to pick up an elephant with your hand, do you think you'll be able to do it, grade ones? No, you can't, because an elephant has a large mass. So let's practice using these different words to better understand mass. Use the words in the word bank to fill in the spaces to make the sentences correct. So in the word bank we have the words light, heavy, lighter, heavier, more, and less. So remember, when we see the word compared, it means that we have two objects, such as the feather and the elephant, and when looking at them together, we want to see which one might be heavier or which one might be lighter. So let's read the first sentence together. When compared, an elephant is heavy and a feather is, what do you think we can say the feather is, grade ones? Yes, very good. A feather is light. So this means that we can pick it up easily and it has a small mass. The next sentence reads, we will read the whole sentence first before filling in the answer. An elephant is, missing word, than a feather. So we're looking at the elephant and we want to know, is the elephant heavier or lighter than a feather? What do you think? Fantastic! An elephant is heavier than a feather. Let's look at our next sentence. A feather has, a missing word, mass than an elephant. So this means a feather has more or less mass than an elephant. What do you think, grade ones? Very good. A feather has less mass than an elephant. Well done. We are going to use the word bank again to practice some more examples. So in this word bank we have light, heavy, lighter, heavier, more, and less. Now our two objects that we are going to compare is a pencil over here and a feather. Now let's read the sentence together. When compared, a pencil is, missing word, and a car is, missing word. So now we have the pencil, the feather, and the car. So if we compare the pencil and the car, Is the pencil going to be light or heavy? Well done. A pencil is light. And a car is very good, heavy. So if you try to think of it this way, grade ones, we can easily take a pencil and pick it up with our hand, but can we pick up a car with our hand? No, we can't because it is heavy. Let's read the next sentence together. A pencil is it lighter or heavier than a car? Yes, well done. A pencil is lighter than a car. And our last sentence reads, a car has, missing word, mass than a feather. So we want to know, does the car have more or less mass than a feather? Can you guess, grade ones? Very good. A car has more mass than a feather. This means that it is heavier than the feather. Let's look at our next example. Again, in our word bank, we have the words light, heavy, lighter, heavier, more, and less. In this example, we are going to compare the tree over here and the flowers over there. So if you look at the objects without reading the sentences, can you already guess which one is going to be heavier? And can you think which one is going to be the lightest? Now I want you to keep those answers in your mind, and now let's read the sentences together and fill in the answers. When compared, a tree is, missing word, and a flower is, missing word. So when we put the tree and the flower next to each other, which one is going to be heavy? Very good. A tree is heavy. And a flower is light. So again, grade ones, think of it this way. Is it easy for us to pick up a flower? Yes, it is. So this means that the flower is light. Is it easy for us to pick up a tree? No, it is not easy for us to do that, and I don't think we can. So this means that the tree is heavy and has a large mass. Let's read the next sentence together. A tree is, missing word, than a flower. So is a tree heavier or lighter than a flower? Can you guess? Well done. A tree is heavier than a flower. And our last sentence, a flower has, missing word, mass than a tree. So does a flower have more or less mass than a tree? Yes, well done, grade ones. It has less mass than a tree. And why is that, grade ones? Because the flower is smaller than the tree. So the smaller an object is, the less mass it has. The bigger an object is, the bigger the mass is. Our next example is going to look at a school bag and a ruler. Our word bank has light, heavy, lighter, heavier, more, and less. So when compared, a school bag is missing word and a ruler is missing word. So these are two objects that you use every day, grade ones. So after this, I want you to go and practice and feel for yourself which one is heavier and which one is lighter. A school bag is heavy. Very good. And a ruler is light. So in this example, we know that we can pick up both our ruler and our bag with our hands, but it is easier for us to pick up the ruler because sometimes our school bag is full of books, which makes it heavy. Let's look at the next sentence. A ruler is, missing word, than a school bag. Is it lighter or heavier? Well done. A ruler is lighter than a school bag. And our last sentence, a ruler has, is it more or less mass than a school bag? Well done. It is less mass than a school bag because remember we said smaller objects have a smaller mass or less mass, and bigger objects have a bigger mass or more mass. So let us explore the mass of objects that we have at home. We have some objects over here. So let's look at the objects and decide, or like we learned previously, estimate which objects are heavier and which ones are lighter. So how we are going to do this is by holding the object in each hand and by comparing them to see which one feels heavier and which one feels lighter. So the objects that we are going to use is a teaspoon, a plate, a book, a mug, milk, and a tin can. So grade ones, we have different objects over here, and like we said, we are going to put them in our hands and feel which one feels lighter or heavier. Now let's have a look at these objects and compare the masses. So over here we have a teaspoon and a mug. If I hold the objects in my hands, I can feel that the teaspoon is light and the mug is heavy. I can also say that the mug is heavier than the teaspoon. If I have a look at some more of the objects, over here I have a tin can, and over here we have a bottle of milk. If I hold them in my hand and feel the different mass, I can feel that the milk is heavy, and I can feel that the tin can is light. If I compare them, I can say that the milk is heavier than the tin can and that the tin can is lighter than the milk. We can also say that the milk has more mass than the tin can. Other objects that we have a look at is the book. So I can hold the book in my one hand, and my other object is a plate. If I hold them in my hands, I can feel that the plate feels heavy and the book feels light. So from these examples, grade ones, we can see how different objects in our house help us to understand mass. By feeling them in our hands, we can feel which ones feel heavy and which ones feel light. From these examples today, we can see that the milk bottle was the heaviest and the teaspoon was the lightest. So remember to keep practicing at home, grade ones, and to take these examples and to go feel which ones are the heaviest and which ones are the lightest. Until next time, thank you and goodbye.